Hello, and welcome to episode 88 of the Disney Park Princess podcast. I am Sharla.
And I'm Heather, and we're missing a Sara.
Yeah, I think Sara
Aw.
decided to run away and join the circus after the day we had yesterday with Disney stuff.
Not for anything, but we're right behind her. We
Yeah.
quit. Goodbye.
No, she had an appointment. She'll be back. She'll be back next week. We think. I'm not speaking for her because what a mess this has been. So if you're listening to this, you most likely know that Walt Disney World is opening in a couple of weeks, and they released their park reservation system this week. Yesterday for our turn, Monday, when you're listening to this on Wednesday. And to the surprise of no one, the system crashed right away. It was lots of fun. So
it amazes me. We say this every time. Every time there's a new sale, every time a new year is released to be booked. Like, why does it always crash? Why? You are one of the biggest companies in the world. Amazon can do this daily with a way higher volume than you can. Why can't Disney get it together? I don't know.
And so not only did the park reservation system, anybody who was in the resort hotels that are not opening or are not opening yet because they're phasing it, they had to be called in and changed. And I never did get through. Heather was able to get through and do most of mine. Sarah, I think you did Sarah's too, because she was on the phone with Disney Cruise Line. So it's been a real big mess. If you have a travel agent, send them
wine.
Yeah, something.
Wine. Gift
so
cards, spa treatment.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll make it through. I still don't have my 2 done because I tried to call this morning and I got tired of waiting again. So I'll get the other 2 done that I need to get done just in time for more changes.
But now, so like we said, they released their park pass reservation system. Right. I didn't make any park passes. Did you make park passes?
I didn't. So the park reservation system goes through September of 2021. So that's not just a couple of months. That's a year and 3 months, basically.
September 26th. So that's the date. If you are going anytime up until September 26th of 2021, you must have park reservations to enter the parks. And Disney is brilliant at doing this. The reason they did that is because just a few short days later is the 50th anniversary, and they are not tying up that mess right now.
Yeah.
That'll be dealt with at a future time.
Yeah, right. And we do have a question about that in our listener questions, but we're going to get to that in another episode because this week we're just going to talk about the reservation system and the new stuff. But yes, the 50th anniversary is in October 2021. But no, I didn't make a reservation. I have a trip supposedly in April for the Star Wars half marathon that got canceled this year, and we're going to go, but we're staying off site. So, and then 2 of our people don't have tickets yet. I have an annual pass, but it's going to expire. I'm not sure if I'm going to renew it. But anyway, since we're not staying on site, none of us made reservations, and we will, but I'm like, my view is, if I don't get to go to the parks, I can do plenty of other things in the area. And I know that I'm lucky because I get to go a lot, but that's kind of my view on it.
Well, I am a very great Disney fan, and I actually have a resort reservation, which I have not linked to my Disney experience. I don't have park tickets because I wasn't going to purchase them until we got closer to the trip. And then, of course, that all got shut down. So I haven't been able to make park reservations. And honestly, I'm not all that concerned with it. We were told yesterday afternoon, of course, your mileage may vary, things may change between then and now, but if you're staying on Disney property, there wasn't a single day between yesterday and September 26th of next year that did not have a park available for Disney resort guests. So that says to me, make sure you're staying on site, people. That, there's no more extra magic hours, there's no more, Fast Pass Plus and all of that, but that's the perk, is that there's a lot more availability for park passes. So I'm not overly concerned about that. And like you, if by the time I get my tickets, I can't go to a park every day, whatever, there's stuff to do.
Well, that brings up another question that one of my clients had was, if I have like a 4-day ticket, but I can only get 3 days as a reservation, what do I do? And I said, honestly, I don't know right now.
But nobody knows right now.
Yeah. But I think they're going to be very generous with either refunding a day or, keep checking. It might even pop up and open.
Yeah.
So that's where we are right now. So we're going to kind of.
Before we get into that, let's talk about the other Disney news that we kind of just said like very quickly, that all the parks are open.
All the parks are going to be open by July 15th.
July 15th.
Well, July 17th, because that's when Disneyland is open.
Disneyland, yes. So we just said Hong Kong opened last week, so we didn't record, so we didn't get to say that, but they opened on June 18th. So both China parks are open. The Florida parks will be open on the 11th and 15th. July 1st is when Disneyland Paris will open, or I'm sorry, when Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea will open. July 15th, Disneyland Paris will be open, and the 17th, just in time for the 65th anniversary, Disneyland will be open. Yay!
So everything's going to be open for the land vacations. Now the cruise line vacations have been suspended through September 15th at this point. The Cruise Lines Association and the CDC met, and I didn't read all the stuff about it because it's just too sad. But pretty much all cruise lines at this point have extended to September 15th and beyond, because some of the Bermuda cruises are now canceled through October. The New England cruises were already canceled. Loads of fun today. But what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about the reopening information as well as listener questions that you have sent in about the reopening. Like I said, we have other listener questions. That's not what we're doing today, because we felt like this was timely, and this is what we need to.
If you do have more questions, we keep asking you for them. Please feel free to send them in for things other than the open. I mean, you can still send in things for the opening. But if you have other questions, we do have another listener question episode planned coming up, but we just wanted to take the ones that applied to everything that happened this week and kind of tackle those, and then we'll get to the other ones in another week or two.
Right. So I do have like 3 or 4 in the backlog that we need to do. But first, before we talk about that, I have exciting news, people. Exciting. So 2 weeks ago, when it was my birthday.
Oh, I was like, wait a minute, do I know the news?
Yes, you do. 2 weeks ago, when it was my birthday, you guys said that my husband did really good with my present, and I said yes, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. But on my birthday, they presented me, my daughter Drew, a little coupon for a puppy. And
one free puppy,
which is not free because the Humane Society charges an adoption fee, but that's fine. Adopt, don't shop. But so they said, here you can get a puppy. And if you know me, you know I love dogs, and I've had 2 dogs pass away in the past couple of years, and it's been really hard. And I still have my old dog who's over here sleeping, and he's almost 16, and he's great. But it's been, it's been a time. And so my husband said, I think you're probably ready. And I was like, yeah, I am, but I didn't want to ask for one yet. But in typical, I can't just do whatever they say. I did not get 1 puppy. I got 2 puppies. 2 puppies.
2 whole puppies, which is a handful, but they're so cute.
They're so cute. They're not in here. I have locked them out of my office because they're adorable, but you never know when they're going to.
They're puppies.
Yeah, they're puppies. So I will post pictures on the Facebook page tomorrow, but they are just really cute. And the reason we got 2 was because they were found together. They were at the shelter together, and that's how we got 2 cats. Can't separate them if they're together. So they are together. They love each other so much. They play hard. They sleep on top of each other every time they're asleep. They are together in some sort of entanglement, and it's adorable.
They're really cute. And how is Newton doing with them?
Newton's great. Newton couldn't care less. They snuggle with him, and he likes other dogs. He just doesn't want to play. He's not a playful dog. They're not anymore, at least. The cats are coming out. They are, in the room now, and the puppies have mostly stopped barking at them. But they weren't barking for meanness or anything. They just wanted to play. They get down, they get down on their haunches ready, or on their, down dog almost.
Their little play bow. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyway,
Aw.
it's really cute and they're really adorable and I love them both very much. So
They're really cute. And you did it really fast. Like she sent us a picture of her coupon and I want to say within like 20 minutes we were all on Pet Finder going, what about this one? What about that one?
And the one I initially was looking at, she got adopted, which is great. And then I just kind of started looking and I found one of them on the Humane Society website. And then I was just looking at their website and I saw that there was another one, then they were sisters. And I was like, well, here we go. So I made the appointment and they told me I could take them that day. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Like that's so quick.
Yeah, it was very quick, but I'm so happy because they're adorable. They would have got snatched up fast if I didn't take them. And I really feel like they're our puppies. You know, they were meant to be here.
They're so cute.
They're very
cute.
cute.
Love them.
Yes. And their names are Truffle and Ginger. So, although I think I'm going to change Ginger's name to Derpy because she looks like that dog that makes that face, that derp face. That's
you can't call her that.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Anyway, it's fun stuff. So, let's get into the less. Disney is fun, but less fun because this is a lot of planning involved, even more than your regular trip. So let's get into that, and let's start with this. I don't think this is really related to all of the pandemic stuff, but Walt Disney World Resort is discontinuing complimentary magic bands for resort guests in 2021. They're still going to be available for 2020.
Yes, this starts January 1st of 2021. So New Year's Day, no more free magic bands.
Right. Now,
how could you, Disney?
They're still going to use magic bands. They're still going to, so if you have an old one or something like that, and then you could still buy one.
So they'll have the discounted ones in the My Disney experience like they currently do, or you can also get the customized ones at the parks. And, you know, they do the limited edition releases for sometimes like Food and Wine Festival and stuff like that. So those will still be happening, just no more free ones.
Right. So
how do we feel about this?
Okay. Well, first of all, it says Disney has said that next year they plan to roll out an innovative new offering that will be part of the My Disney Experience app, which will bring the same features of a magic band. So here's my to a guest smartphone. Okay. So I don't like the idea of having to use my smartphone to enter my hotel room for several reasons. One, they have that capability now, and it doesn't work all the time. Two, what if my phone loses battery, which could very well happen.
Which happens almost to everyone. Like, how many battery packs do I have to carry around? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, it's a minor inconvenience, but I think the point of the magic bands or even the app was we're going to make this as convenient as possible. Well, what if I'm a mom that has like 3 bags, my toddler by the hand, this one, you know, I'm pushing the stroller. Now I have to fumble in my bag or in my back pocket or wherever I have my app. Do I have to bring the app up in order to unlock my door? Or
that's how you have to do it now.
Into my park, you know, to get into the park. Like, you know, I know out at Disneyland, that's how they do their fast passes now. They have this thing called Max Pass, which is sort of a My Disney experience, very extra light. And in order to use your fast passes, you have to bring it up on your smartphone and scan it, which is great. It's better than going back and forth across the park to get a paper fast pass, but it's certainly nowhere near as convenient as tapping my wrist and being on my way. Right. And again, like I said in our Facebook group, because we posted about that in there, my biggest concern is great. Yeah, I know my phone is going to die. My phone always dies when I'm in the park, but there's a lot of germs, right? There's a lot of germs on my phone at any given time. And now I'm going to take my phone. And again, we don't know how this works. We're just speculating because Disney has not released 0 details of it. But if I have to bring the app up on my phone, tap it to the turnstile, tap it to a fast pass machine, tap it to, you know, one of the little payment blocks that they use where you tap your Mickey to Mickey, that's a lot of germs that my phone is now coming in contact with that I then have to put to my face to make a phone call, or my fingers are now all over because I'm texting. If we are in a global pandemic where we're wearing masks and we're social distancing and we're washing our hands and we're reducing capacity at the parks, I fail to see how this is a safe alternative to Magic Bands.
Right. I don't know that it's a safe alternative anyway, but it's when I have used my phone to unlock the door before. It is not convenient because yes, you have to open the app, then you have to log in because it's logged you out already. So it's way faster just to tap the band and go.
I've never used the thing to unlock the door. Like even when they rolled that out, I'm like, I don't see how that's more convenient than going.
It's not, but I wanted to try it, and it's definitely not more convenient.
I understand if you don't like wearing Magic Bands, which is a whole separate issue, and there's plenty of people who don't, which I totally get because it's hot and it's sticky in Florida. So if you don't like wearing Magic Bands, that's a great option. But I don't mind wearing a Magic Band. My concern is I just want to go. I want things to be as convenient as possible, and to me, using the app is not.
Yeah. Well, I will be using my Magic Band for as long as I can.
Same. I'm now.
Yeah, I'll bring them or I'll buy them.
I got rid of some of them, but don't worry, I have 11.
Yeah. Oh, I have more than that. Well, between the three of us plus me going a bunch and all that stuff. I don't mind. I get it that the Magic Bands are, like somebody said, they're wasteful, and yeah, they are. And for a while, you couldn't decline them. You had to just accept a Magic Band for everybody every time you went, and now you can decline them, but for a long time you couldn't. So I don't mind that part of it, but I'm interested to see what happens. So let's move on because all right, so let's start with our pro tip. And Sara posted this yesterday, so if you want to read that, Sara posted this yesterday on the Facebook group, and I want to be clear that this is a great idea, and especially for that's what we were going to talk about, 2021 reservations. They open Wednesday. We didn't say that, so that's important for this thing. So if you want to go to Walt Disney World in 2021.
We told you our brains are fried. Sorry, we're a little scattered this week.
I even wrote it down.
Yes, 2021 packages open today as you are listening to this. Right. You can now go next year. Book away. Call your travel agent. Go ahead and get your trip on the books.
Now, but read this.
Well, before we say that, I would encourage you, if you have any sort of clue that you're going to be going in 2021, book now, because then you can make your park pass reservations. I wouldn't wait if you think you're going in October or August of 2021. Going to wait until May and let's see if there's a discount. Yeah. No, because you don't know if the park pass reservations are going to be gone by then. So that's your advantage to booking now, and booking early is you can get those reservations made. But like you said, this is pro tip that Sara put yesterday in our Facebook page. Make sure you check park availability before making or moving your reservation. You can click on the view availability button in the middle of the main screen once you're logged into your My Disney Experience account. Guests with 2020 reservations that are waiting to rebook to 2021 on Wednesday will definitely want to see if there's any availability first. Right. Now is my little asterisk. Just because we've been noticing that some people are seeing different screens than others. Some people are not getting to the full availability calendar in their My Disney Experience, and I'm not sure why. So check several times. And they're also doing a lot of technical updates behind the scenes. We ran into this maybe 5 or 6 times yesterday. So just because you don't see availability the first time you check, wait a little bit and check again.
Right.
Because there were people who were saying, I was looking in December, January, February, and I saw nothing, not one single park day open. And then they went back 15, 20 minutes later and everything was open. And it's also important to know that there are 3 different calendars. One for Disney resort guests, one's for annual pass holders, and then one's for guests who have park tickets but do not have a resort reservation. And those 3 calendars will have different availability.
Right. So it's confusing for sure. But
I think so was My Disney Experience and Fast Pass Plus when those first rolled out, and people kind of lost their minds about that. And, I don't know what to do. I hate this. And now it's just, it's so normal and natural that we don't even think twice about it. Exactly. So that's what this will be in the future. I think people just don't like change by nature. Yeah. So once we're used to this, it'll be fine.
Yeah. And we have no idea how long this will actually go on. It could go on for forever, as far as I know. I have no idea. Okay, so let's
hold on before we go. I'm going to say, you know what? I'm not mad at that. I hope it goes on forever because I would really like to go to the parks and not have to wait for 3 hours to get on Space Mountain. I would like to not have to walk shoulder to shoulder. Like I'm all in for this reduced capacity.
Yeah,
I know we're not doing it for a fun reason, but I'm telling you, the parks are probably going to be glorious when you're there and they're not packed.
That's what I've heard about Universal is that it's good and they've done it. Now Universal is a little bit different. You still have to you don't have to have a park reservation, but you have to have a ride reservation, like the virtual queue thing, which Disney will probably do. So it'll be interesting to see how Disney does it versus how Universal's doing it. But anyway, for Universal to do you can do your virtual queue. I don't really know how it works. Maybe you have to have reservations. Just forget all that. Forget everything I just said. I cannot think straight at all about what I'm doing, and I'm sorry. So between dealing with about 6 different suppliers with 6 different rules, I don't even know anymore.
It's rough.
All right, so let's go up to the top. Let's do our first question from
all the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
Okay. From
Randy. Okay, he says, "Hello, ladies and travel agents extraordinaire," and I appreciate that. I don't feel like it right now, but I appreciate it. All right, in your business roles, you are probably getting inundated with questions about the just announced reservation systems for park entrances. Yes, that are supposed to be linked with tickets and passes already purchased. What's missing is for DVC members who already have existing reservations for the resorts, but no tickets yet. Or it could be not just DVC, anybody, annual pass holders that don't have their passes or just somebody wants a room. Okay. Have you heard anything about when such members can get in line to buy tickets before all the reservations are depleted? So I think what he's saying is he wants to know when he can buy park tickets.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had already answered Randy earlier this week because I wanted to make sure he had his information. But I think it applies to a lot of people that listen. It certainly applies to me as I happen to be a DVC member without tickets and a resort reservation for October. So the short answer is that just because you have a resort reservation does not entitle you to getting into a park. You need a resort reservation and also park admission in order to make your park pass reservation. So that park admission is key. So if, like me, you do not have park admission yet, you cannot book a park pass reservation. Right. That being said, if your trip is sometime in 2021, your tickets will go on sale today as you're listening to this, June 24th. You can purchase tickets for 2021. For the rest of 2020, like me, we don't know when those will be going on sale. Disney's official line is sometime later this summer. And I think that's because they're waiting to see how many park reservations are made once annual pass holders are able to do so, once off-property guests with tickets are able to do so. And then they will consider how they're going to go about releasing, resort reservations as well as park ticket purchases. Right. Randy did mention that he called DVC member services and said that DVC members will be able to purchase 2021 tickets starting on June 28th. I don't know about that, as DVC doesn't normally sell park tickets. They sell discounted annual passes to their members, so that might be what he's referring to. But for anybody who's listening who still needs to purchase tickets for 2021, today is your day. If you need to purchase them for 2020, we are still waiting.
Right. And same thing with resort reservations. Yes. If you want to go down sometime in 2020, we don't know yet when.
We're still waiting.
Right. Right.
The only exception to that are DVC members. DVC members now can make resort reservations for the rest of 2020 at a DVC resort using your points, not paying cash. So there's a little bit of an advantage there, but not much.
Yeah. And the DVC resorts are pretty much all opening too. Mm-hmm. That's the ones that are mainly going to be open.
They're the ones that opened yesterday,
right.
Or Monday,
and the campground.
June 22nd, and the campground. Yeah. Which is nice that, so those are kind of like, that's Disney's easing on into this whole thing.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's go to the next question. And she starts out with saying it is controversial. It is a little bit. So, all right. From Nicole. Hi, princesses. I know this is controversial. I know you won't actually have an answer, but when do you think Disney will stop the mask wearing policy? Asking for an asthmatic. I don't know, Nicole.
Probably not until there's a vaccine. I would assume this way, if somebody is infected on their property, they can go get treatment and Disney can't be held liable. And again, they have all these terms and policies, terms, conditions, everything in place so that you really can't hold them liable. But it's also not good PR for somebody to get sick at your park.
I know. So I will say at Universal, they have been giving, for people who cannot wear a mask for medical reasons, they've been giving them a wristband and you can not wear a mask. I don't know if Disney's going to do that, because what we heard on our call the other day was, and this is all over there, this is not proprietary information, this is kind of all over their blog and their website and everything. And it says, basically, if you don't want to wear a mask,
stay home.
Stay home. Don't come. Come another time. And that's the blunt way to put it, but that's basically what it says. So the answer is, I don't know when that will be, but I'm not sure what concessions they will be making for people right now. I thought they would definitely be making some concessions, but based on this, I don't know if they will. I just don't know. So more on that to come, I guess, to see what it says.
I think the parks really need to be open for a week or two, and then they can start reassessing their policies and see what they're doing. But again, look, I'm right there with you. I don't want to be at the parks with a mask on. That's why I'm not going to Disneyland when it opens, just because it's hot out. And I personally don't want to sit in the, 100-degree heat breathing into a mask. So I'm going to stay home. However, we're here to protect each other. I think that's why we're wearing it. And so I get it, if there's asthma and things like that, you really can't wear a mask. So unfortunately, it's just for the foreseeable future. And so that's something you have to think about personally. If, can I do this? Can I spend, 5 or 6 hours or 2 or 3 hours at a time with a mask and then go back to the hotel and take a break?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see a lot of things, how it works with the transportation, how it works with everything. I don't know if I guess they will be running buses at some point, because they'll have to, but if you notice what resorts are open, they are pretty much like the Skyliner resorts are going to be all open fairly quickly. And so they're going to try to minimize buses, I think. You'll still have to take a bus to get to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom from Pop Century. But the All-Stars are closed. That's only buses.
I know that I was seeing pictures the other day of the buses that have big X's on the seats, can't sit here. So they're trying to social distance, but that's going to make lines for buses really, really long. I think that's why you're seeing the All-Stars aren't opening. The Port Orleans resorts don't have an opening date. Coronado does, but that's the last resort currently on the current reopening list for mid-October. I want to say it's October 14th, to just limit those resorts that can only go somewhere via bus.
And I think that the part of the Coronado thing is that the NBA is going to be there at Grandestino, and I don't know if the main hotel too, but the NBA is going to be there for a while, so that could be part of the Coronado thing. I don't know, but it makes sense because the dates kind of line up. But yeah, so okay, so we have one more question, and this is not directly related to this, but I included it because it's got 2021, and one of her questions is about when she can book for 2021. So do you want to read that, or do you want me to?
Sure. This is from Caitlin. She says, "Hi, Sara, Sharla. First off, I love your podcast." Oh, thank you, Caitlin. Thanks. You make me blush. It has been the highlight of my Wednesday walk and brings some much needed Disney magic into my life right now, which is good. That's what we're trying to do. So she says, "I am considering planning a trip for my upcoming birthday in January of 2021. Happy birthday. I understand the parks may look totally different with everything that is going on, but I would go for the long weekend of Martin Luther King weekend. A few questions. 1, when would I be able to book for January of 2021?
Today.
Yay! Get to it, girl. Let's go. Number 2, I will only have 3 days in the park. I have been to Disney in the past 2 years, but I would be going with my boyfriend who hasn't been since he was 6, and we're in our mid-20s. That was like just in this year. It's like a whole new world for them. What do you suggest prioritizing to get the most out of a 3-day trip?
Okay. If he likes Star Wars, definitely go to Disney's Hollywood Studios. If I would say, here's what I would do. Consider, and I know this is a controversial opinion, but consider skipping the Magic Kingdom. If you only have 3 days and you're 2 adults, I would go to, because you can't skip Epcot. We've long established on this podcast that there's no skipping Epcot.
No one's allowed.
If he's a fan of Star Wars, I would go to Disney Hollywood Studios. If neither of you are fans of Star Wars, skip that. But that's what I would do. And then Animal Kingdom. I would do, if you really want to go to the Magic Kingdom, then skip Animal Kingdom. But I think that's what I would do. Well, if she's only got 3 days, what are they going to do? You know? I would say do Epcot, Disney Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. That's my choice.
Here's what I did, because I was somewhat in your same situation. I think we had 4 days, but we were also there during Food and Wine Festival, so there was no way I was skipping Epcot. Like, I think I went too little to Epcot for my taste, but I was there with Justin, who had never been. So we absolutely skipped the Magic Kingdom. He did not go. He still has not been to the Magic Kingdom, and the reason for that was we do live in Southern California and we go to Disneyland fairly frequently. And so I thought with a limited amount of time and him knowing Disneyland, it was okay for him to skip the Magic Kingdom, knowing that at some point, someday, we're going to be back and he will get to go to the Magic Kingdom. But for me, that wasn't urgent. So we spent 2 days in Epcot doing food and wine, riding all the rides, kind of getting him, he loved Epcot. He thought that was fantastic. And then we spent a whole day at Animal Kingdom because he loves animals and there's nothing like that out here on the West Coast, Disney-wise. So we did that. We took one of the backstage tours over at Animal Kingdom. And then we also went to Hollywood Studios so he could ride Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster and things that they don't have out here. He's also a moderate Star Wars fan, but we actually skipped Galaxy's Edge because he had already, because Rise wasn't open yet and he had already seen it in Disneyland. So exactly what Sharla said, if he's into, Star Wars, you have to go to Hollywood Studios. I think Animal Kingdom is fantastic because it's unlike anything anywhere. It's a theme park, but with animals. And so I think that's a really cool thing to see. And then obviously Epcot, you have to go to Epcot.
Yeah. But if, neither of you are really Star Wars fans, then skip Disney Hollywood Studios and do Magic Kingdom instead. That's what I would do. So Caitlin did send in another question that we can get to another time because it's a little bit different from this one, but I thought this one was important because it's specifically about 2021. So, and
I think just while we're talking about 2021 and tickets and what parks to go to, as of right now, Walt Disney World has ceased all park hopping, but it's important to note that especially today, if you're booking your trips, that they are still offering the park hopper option for 2021 vacation packages. So you can include park hopping in your trip next year. They have not said when they're going to bring that back, but I think that they're assuming that it'll be back sometime next year, which is why they're allowing you all to purchase it. So, right. You may still be able to kind of semi-plan for park hopping and kind of keep that in your mind that if you only have 3 days, well, maybe you can do a little bit of time at Hollywood Studios and a little bit of time in Magic Kingdom or however you want to work it.
Right. Okay, here's another question then. Are they selling the dining plans for 2021?
No. Dining plans are gone. Non-existent. Goodbye. I don't know when they're going to bring it back. I think that they will eventually because it's, a good revenue stream for them. It's also really convenient for their guests. I love the dining plans. They had just introduced a new dining plan and then a month later had to, cancel all that out. I don't think it's Disney's intention to never have the dining plans again. I think that they're just really concentrating on opening the parks and the resorts, doing so safely, making sure it's a success, seeing how the new reservation system works for the parks and also for dining. And then maybe they introduce back in the dining plans, and then maybe they introduce back in Fast Pass Plus and so on and so forth. But I think it's baby steps at this point. Like, let's just get some rides operating and see how that goes. But I mean, it's different. Everything is different. Can I tell you, just as a travel agent, I woke up this morning, I swear to you, this was my first thought at 5 a.m. I woke up and I went, well, I can make it through this week, and at least I don't have to deal with free dining in a month. That thought set me through free. I was like, no free dining. And I know listeners, I know you guys love it, but for us professionally, it's awful.
We hate it.
We hate it. It's literally the worst thing in the world. And every year we're like, can Disney get rid of this already? Because they don't even offer any hotels or dates anymore. No. And now there's no more free dining. So there's that. That is my silver lining for myself.
And maybe even no more discounts, I don't know how.
I don't think there's going to be any discounts this year. I mean, that could be very wrong. Maybe nobody winds up going and they have to, sort of fill the resorts, but their goal isn't to fill the resorts right now. So.
Right. Well, let me tell you, I'll tell everybody why we hate free dining, and then we'll end, because that way you understand why we don't like it. It has nothing to do with, we don't want you to get the deal and all that stuff. It's the fact that Disney has limited it little by little every single year. And, basically they kind of started this whole thing after 9/11, and they were trying to get some people into the parks, and it has changed over the years, but they just limit. And so like maybe 3 rooms at this one resort will get free dining. And we get up super early and we try to modify and all that. And then
4 a.m. for me, people. I'm on the West Coast, 4 a.m.
And so we try to get it modified, and it's already gone. And then our clients are upset. And even if you don't book through a travel agent, you book it on your own, you're still going to have that same experience. So it's just a very, very difficult promotion for everybody. And people just don't understand why their dates are blacked out, or their resort just doesn't have any availability. And I saw an advertisement that said my resort has it. Well, it doesn't. I'm sorry. So we just don't like it. It's a big hassle for everybody. And people hear it and they think it's a great deal, and it's not necessarily even a great deal. So anyway,
I think I had a client once who I saved like $1,500 on, because Disney always releases a room discount along with their free dining, at least in the past few years. And I think I saved them like $1,700 with this room discount. And they're like, but I want free dining. I'm like, but free dining's $500 more. Yeah, well, no, but I want free dining. I'm like, but you're saving more money. And they were upset that they didn't have free dining. So it's not always the best deal.
Yeah, I have had that happen too. But I wanted free dining. Okay, but you're going to pay this much money. Oh, but it's not free. No, it's a room discount. We added it back in. You're getting free room. But they don't think that way.
Whatever.
All right. Well, I think that does it. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm just doing my happy no free dining dance. Wait, I do have one more thing to add that has nothing to do with opening day, except sort of it does. The Food and Wine Festival is coming back. It's coming on opening day of Epcot from July 15th and going for several months. And Disney wants you to think this is a good thing because it's the longest Food and Wine, but they've reduced the number of food booths. They took away the Eat to the Beat concerts because obviously we can't all be packed in that theater, and they haven't said anything about the special events yet, so I'm pretty bummed. I feel very sad. Please be kind to me for the next week.
I didn't realize they were opening the Food and Wine Festival so early either.
Opening day, everyone.
Wow.
Because, I mean, come on, they've missed 6 months of food booths. We got to do something here.
Wow. Okay, good to know. All right, well, we'll be back next week. If Sara didn't actually join the circus, she will be back next week as well. And, I don't know, guys, we have to take everything day by day if we plan on being here, but, the circus is calling.
You might be in the circus, too. I bet you we would be a really good tightrope act.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We can train the puppies to be dancing puppies.
Yes.
In shoes.
Yes. I like it. All right, that's it for us. Oh, we have the Patreon Extra, which I know what we're talking about on the Patreon Extra. We're going to talk about something that I have been obsessed with that is absolutely ridiculous on TV. So that's what we're going to talk about on the Patreon Extra.
I'm also just as surprised as you are, folks. I have no idea what she's talking about.
It's terrible. So if you'd like to listen to that, you can support us on Patreon, and any donation that you give gives you access to that. And then we have different levels as well. So join us on our Facebook page, Facebook group. We're all over the place, guys. Just find us. You could just Google us, and we're there. But send in more listener questions if you have them at info@disneyparkprincess.com or to any of us. And we will talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.